What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Blue. It's around 4 a.m. here in Montreal, Canada, and today we're going to be maxing out the range of the Cessna Citation Longitude on a 7.5-hour flight from Montreal across the Atlantic Ocean to Spielberg for the Austrian Grand Prix. This is the 10th flight of the Moser Racing Formula One World Tour, where me and so far 100 other pilots have been traveling to each F1 Grand Prix destination around the world, virtually transporting drivers, VIPs, various high priority cargo, and upgrades. But this time we have to pack light because we are full of fuel and extremely limited on payload if we want to make it the entire distance. Cold and dark, battery 1 and 2. Here it is. And the Garmin G3000 screens are coming to life. Let's go to the overhead and let's get some light in here. So let's scroll this up here. Oh yeah, that's more like it. All right, start up the APU. All right, APU is firing up. RPM's rising. Alright, click the home button and sim brief, and there it is on the top of the list, our flight plan. We'll click request, and now we can import it. And that's going to import our entire flight plan into the Garmin G3000, and there it is. Scroll down, you can see our North Atlantic track waypoints, airways, everything's there. And here we are on the Navigraph Charts app, and we have Montreal. We're starting here, runway 06 right, departing to the east, and we'll go by Newfoundland again and jump over the North Atlantic Ocean, and we'll go feet dry over Ireland and then fly over the UK before we go into Europe and make our way down into the Austrian Alps. Love it out here. Expecting to land south at the moment, but we'll see when we get there. So back in the G3000, we'll put in our departure frequency here to 2.8, and we'll drop our squawk code in as well at 2116 and enter. And now we'll go to perf page and we'll click on weight and fuel. For the stores, it'll be about 400 pounds. Payload, 4 passengers, 180 pounds each. And for our takeoff page, we can go to FOB sync, that's fuel on board sync, at 2,157 gallons. Let's go back, takeoff data, and runway is going to be runway 06 right. Now weather, load METAR, use RAT, and show METAR. Now we have our weather information right here, which is one thing I really love about the Garmin G3000s. We have all this information right here in the GPS. And we'll accept the takeoff speeds here on the takeoff data page. There we are, and we're good to go. And we are cleared to start engine. Started with engine number 1 on the left, so we'll unguard the cover here and hit run. There we go, and we'll hit starter right next to it. Gonna get quiet. Look up at our MFD. We should have ITT rising, ignition, oil pressure. Yeah, she's starting up. Good start on 1, we'll do the same for 2, undo the guard, hit run, and start. Once again, looking back up at the MFD. Looks like we do have the ITT rise in there. N2 as well. Looking good. Full forward, full back, right, left. All right, let's test the rudder. Rudder feels good. Flight controls free and correct. All right, let's get my charts set up for the airport charts. Yep, there we go, nice in the full screen, just like how I like it. Alright, throttle up, and let's make our way over to the runway. We're up next after this American A320, and there he goes. Alright, let's reach up top, and we'll get these lights turned off for takeoff, and we'll turn our landing lights on. And runway 06 right, we are clear for takeoff. Alright, we're lined up, let's go. Brakes release. Takeoff power set. Eighty knots. Rotate. Gear up. Look at those city lights. Bonsoir, Montreal. Merci beaucoup. We up, baby.
Landing up at 33 right, Manchester, Fort Manchester.
Starting to pick up some more ATC chatter as we're cruising at flight level 410. That's 41,000 feet above the UK right now, somewhere over Liverpool and Manchester. We'll actually be back here for our next flight, Flight 11 of the World Tour for the British Grand Prix. But I've yet to decide which airport we're going to fly into, so stay tuned for that. And how about that sunrise? What did you guys think? That was pretty beautiful. We're only about 2 hours away, and I always get nervous when doing these long flights in a new aircraft. This is my first attempt to fly the Longitude in Microsoft Flight Sim for a long distance, and I have to say I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm loving the avionics. I love the G3000 and all of its functions. The autopilot has been working beautifully. I haven't had a single issue with the autopilot or with the flight plan. Again, we are pushing the range of this plane to its maximum, so I do have to be conscious of the fuel. So I'm doing my best to try to catch the best tailwind we can get, and maybe even take a few shortcuts between waypoints to try to save us a little bit of fuel to make sure we get all the way to our destination today.
Alpha Bravo 444, report the runway in sight.
So how about that Canadian Grand Prix? The weather definitely mixed things up over the weekend, and we had to deal with it ourselves as we flew into the Canadian Grand Prix. It was a very challenging landing. Couldn't believe I actually pulled it off. And the drivers had an even bigger challenge driving through all that rainwater during practice and qualifying. But the race itself was pretty interesting. Verstappen ran away with it as always, but the gap between Verstappen and Alonso was much less than we expected. But the battle that I was watching out for was the Alonso versus Hamilton. But if you think about it, we have 3 world champions, Verstappen, Hamilton, and Alonso. 11 championships between all three of them. And if these cars were more equal, we would have an epic battle between the three. But also, I think one person that really stood out in the race was Alexander Albon in the Williams, who was really killing. He was really fun to watch throughout the whole weekend. And I'm looking forward to the next race in Austria. The Red Bull Ring is actually one of my personal favorite tracks. I don't really know why, to be exact. I love the area. I love the mountains. It's a pretty short track, but it's really fast. So I think we're going to see a lot of passing, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I actually had time to do some racing in the new F1 game with the Moza R5 racing wheel, which was actually a lot of fun. And don't forget, we are doing a huge giveaway at the end of the season for those of you who are participating in the F1 World Tour. More details about that down on the website that is in the link in the description. But anyways, let's land this plane. All right, gear down. What a beautiful approach. Man, I love Austria. One of my favorite places to fly. We're on final. I have the controls. Wind's pretty calm. Nice, clear day, great visibility. Let's land this plane. All right, easy does it. A little bit of trim. There we go. Be aiming for center line here. It's 3 white. 1 red means we're a little high. Here we come. Looking good.
100. 50.
Oh, nice and soft. There we go. Get that nose down. And reverses out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Austria. What an approach. That was nice. That was fun.
$100.
I actually really enjoyed that flight. First time ever doing a transatlantic long haul in a business jet, and it was actually really satisfying. The Cessna Citation Longitude did a great job. It handled the flight plan perfectly. Great navigation. VNav worked perfectly as well. So no complaints there. I'm actually really surprised just how well this aircraft flew. And I am looking forward to flying it again. And we just barely made it on fuel. I mean, it was really close. We made it. We made it. Flight 10 out of 23. Next flight leads us to Silverstone back in the UK for the British Grand Prix. But until next time, remember you have 3 choices: give up, give in, or give it all. You got peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video. We out, baby.